Joining us now is Daniel Lacalle, CIO of Tressis and an advisor to some top government officials in Spain. Daniel, let me first ask what you think of the economy minister's take that the uncertainty surrounding the snap election isn't necessarily the worst thing for the Spanish economy.
Thank you very much. What I think is that it's not the snap elections. I think that what we're seeing is an important impact on the economy from the measures taken by the new government since June. Industrial production, which posted the worst results in months in December, gross capital formation, even job creation has been quite significantly diminished. Obviously, the economy is going to continue to grow probably in 2019, but we cannot ignore the signs of slowdown because on top of what is a perceived slowdown in already the European economy, the Spanish economy is taking some very aggressive measures, and the government, for example, has just increased many taxes, has put quite some barriers to job creation, and that can be definitely harmful for that potential growth.
What would you recommend in terms of policy changes, Daniel, if a new government comes in that's more open to your thinking economically? What do you think needs to happen?
What I think is obviously the opposite of what the government is trying to implement. This is not the time to massively increase spending and massively increase taxes. Spain will be the only country in the European Union and the OECD that will tackle a slowdown by massively increasing spending and taxes at the same time. So what Spain would need to do is to reduce taxes to job creation, reduce taxes for families so that more disposable income goes to consumption, goes to improving the savings ratio as well. And what it needs to do as well is to improve the regulation in order to address the challenges to capital allocation, bringing capital to Spain, improving the size and the number of companies working in the country, therefore attracting capital, reducing taxes, and making the economy more dynamic, not less dynamic.
Are you concerned about the possible inclusion of Vox, of a far-right populist party, in a new government coalition if indeed they get the votes right?
Well, obviously, everything is quite challenging right now, particularly with the polls, considering that what we are seeing right now is the rise of a party that is likely to make the number of seats in Parliament quite different than what it was initially expected. However, I don't think that there is a risk to the economy from Vox rising. I think that there is definitely a risk of the polarization of Parliament. Podemos on the far left side, on the communist and far left side, created a very aggressive polarization of the parliament in Spain that led to the socialist government to take very extreme measures that probably it would not have taken on its own. And the risk that we see is that in these snap elections, first, we will see that the fourth and fifth party, in terms of number of votes, will massively harm the second and third in terms of number of votes as well. And at the same time, that because the general elections are in April, but the municipal and European elections are in May, what is very likely to happen is that we will not have a government until June, because no one will want to get into a coalition before those municipal, regional European elections.
Isn't that the kind of uncertainty that could weigh on the economy, that could blow spreads out, Daniel?
It is definitely something that we need to ponder, because if we look at what the government is saying, what we just heard from the Minister of Economy, if we look at what is happening in Spain, the slowdown in the Eurozone, we cannot afford to have sort of tactical political measures in order to reach power in an environment of a slowdown. We need to take important measures to improve competitiveness, to improve job creation, to increase investment.
All right, Daniel, thanks so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate you coming to the office. Daniel Lacalle there, CIO of Tressis.